What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing some battles submitted to the channel by Nick110, who's running a sound theme team with Chatter in the lead, which resembles a music note, Expound, which is pretty self-explanatory but it's very loud, and CallumOnToast, which apparently uses its scales to produce sound, and as you can see from the graphic, Expound and CallumOnToast are both running Boom Burst. So with that being said, let's just get straight into the question of the day. So for a while now, people have talked about creating a new typing in the world of Pokemon called the sound typing, since there are so many Pokemon and moves all related to sound. So what I want to know is, if the sound typing was a real typing, how would it interact with the other typings in the game? Against which typings would it be super effective, and which typings would it be resisted against? Let me know in the comment section down below, and also feel free to explain your reasoning for each type interaction. But with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so heading into the first battle, Chatter into Roserade now. The opponent is running Bullet Seed, so this should be a good matchup for us. We're going to see very quickly that Chatter is a glassy Pokemon. Weather Ball is a 35 energy non-stab charge move there, and it does over 50% of our health. They then swap into Emolga. We're going to respond with Combo, of course. If the opponent full sends Acrobatics, that probably one-shots us, but we do correctly shield it. Now, unfortunately, not running Dragon Claw. We're going to go for a Brick Break, but the opponent shields anyways, and of course, Brick Break is going to drop their defense. At this point, we're not going to double shield the Combo, so Acrobatics number 2 does get the KO, but we can now come in with either Pokemon. Probably going to come in with Expound, because of course, we are not very low health on the Expound already. We are going to get the Astonish farm down. They come back in with Roserade, and we're actually going to go for a resisted Disarming Voice, throwing straight away. We grab the final shield from the opponent, and now we can snipe with the Chatter, going straight for the Sky Attack. Sky Attack gets the KO up against the Roserade, and they've got a Shadow Quagsire in the back, so they will definitely not be able to Mudshot farm us down. We're going straight for the Sky Attack, and Sky Attack does huge damage to the Shadow Quagsire. And by the way, if you are wondering why we're running Nightshade and the graphic says Heat Wave, I believe we do switch up the moveset at some point throughout these battles, so I've just left Heat Wave there. But anyways, gonna come in with the Explode, play it safe, use our shield. There are back-to-back Aqua Tails, but it doesn't matter. A single Aqua Tail will not get the KO, but Astonish takes out the Quagsire, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, we see Emolga again, this time in the lead, so going to say swap into Explode, and we're actually going to shield the first move here. This is only going to be either a Discharge or an Aerial Ace, so probably didn't need to shield that, but the opponent comes in with double, so if we did let that go through, the opponent probably could just go and fully double kick farm us down, but we full send the Boom Burst there. Unfortunately, Astonish is going to be double resisted, so we're not be able to get the fast move farm down, and the opponent can go for a payback and then go for the double kick farm down, so that probably implies they're not running Wild Charge here. Otherwise, that would be a very odd move combination. So gonna no shield and then swap straight away into the Combo O as the opponent comes back in with their Emolga. And again, we're gonna shield here as the opponent is gonna go for a Discharge bait, which is unfortunate, but they're gonna swap into Obsecute, and this is actually really good for us. We're going straight for the Brick Break, grabbing a shield, and of course dropping their defense. We're gonna go for another Brick Break here, and this should be grabbing the final shield, as of course double super effective. Since we've dropped their defense, that probably would one-shot them despite being a pretty rubbish move. At this point, the opponent's going to go and full send a Gunk Shot to take us out, but we come in with the Chatter and we get the perfect farm down, coming out with a Nightshade loaded. And Nightshade, by the way, is an awful charge move, but it gets the KO up against Emolga, and we're able to take that game. Into the next battle, we see Double in the lead this time around, so once again, they could be running Wild Charge, and we're going to try and swap and catch the move here. And if they're running Wild Charge or Payback, doesn't matter, both are resisted, so they're just going to go for the stab, body slams, and then they swap into a Bomber Snow. So this is fine with us. We can go straight for a Brick Break. Brick Break will be grabbing a shield from the opponent, and the opponent is going to throw their charge move here. So at this point, just going to let the Combo O go down. We grab the shield advantage. It would be quite risky to come in with the Chatot since we are so glassy. So we come in with the Explode, and we are going to no shield the first move here as the opponent goes for another Weather Ball. Perfectly fine with us, and we are going to overfarm here. So it looks like maybe we're going to farm 2 back-to-back charge moves before throwing, so happy to use a shield here and then come out with back-to-back Disarming Voices like I mentioned. So we're going to throw it here, the opponent going to let the Bomber Snow go down, and they're going to come in with the double. We are going to full send the Boom Burst here, guarantee the KO or a shield. Boom Burst unfortunately gets shielded by the double there, but it doesn't matter as we can snipe with the Chatter, going straight for the Sky Attack, taking out the double, but unfortunately they've got Carbink in the back, and yes, we've got double super effective Steel Wings, but these Rock Throws are already chunking. Nightshade doesn't do much damage, unfortunately, and they can just Rock Throw farm down the Explode to take that game. But into the next battle, we're going to see a Jellicent in the lead, so fairly decent for us, but we are, of course, also hitting for resisted fast move damage. We've got Nightshade, but I wouldn't be surprised if even a Sky Attack, despite not being super effective, does more damage than Nightshade, since Nightshade is a pretty awful move. We go for the Sky Attack there, and then we're going to swap into a Combo O and catch what's presumably going to be a Surf, and it is the Surf. So very nice catch there. We're going to go for the Dragon Tail Farm down. They make it to another Charge Move, and we're actually going to shield this, and it is just going to be another Surf. So probably didn't need to shield that, although I wasn't counting. Maybe they did have enough energy for a Shadow Wall there, and they just panicked and went for a Surf. But either way, we go for a Brick Break as they come in with Greninja. Unless they're running Aerial Ace for coverage, which would be very odd, we can just safely no shield this, go for another Brick Break. We would have actually lost CMP there, but the opponent swaps into a third Water type Pokemon in Poliwrath, so very interesting. We're going to swap straight away into our Chatot, go for the Sky Attack, and the opponent doesn't respect the damage there. I'm not really sure why, but at this point this will be game over. We can come in with either Pokemon, we can just safely no shield this up here. As they go for a Hydro Cannon, fine with us. They're going to fire off another Charge Move. Again, we can just let this go through. Combo O is healthy enough to go for a Dragon Tail Farm down, taking out the Greninja, and we're able to take that game. Into next game, we see Ferrothorn in the lead, so this is going to be a pretty decent matchup, especially since we are running Heat Wave here. This should just be a Power Whip or a Mirror Shot, so we definitely should not be shielding this. I know I said Chatot is glassy, but we can tank a resisted Power Whip. But either way, we are full sending the Heat Wave right now, and we one-shot the Ferrothorn. Get that Ferrothorn off my screen. Shout out to Jamie Finn for that quote. We're now going to swap, catch the move onto Exploud. Very nice. As the opponent goes for an Aerial Ace, which we do tank reasonably well there, and the opponent will unfortunately outpace us to a potential dig, so we're going to use a shield here as the opponent does full send the dig, and now they're going to swap into a Shadow Marsh Stomp, so that's quite a spicy pick. We're going straight for Disarming Voice, probably going to grab a shield there, of course. Could have gone for the Boom Burst, but it would have been shielded, and now we're able to make it to back-to-back Disarming Voices, and Disarming Voice number 2 grabs the final shield from the opponent. They are going to massively overfarm though, so Surf will be taking us out. We're going to come in with Chatot, and the opponent continues to overfarm there, and now we can make it to a Sky Attack, easily taking out the Shadow Marsh Stomp, and we're able to swap into our Combo O here. This is actually going to be pretty close as the opponent goes for an Aerial Ace. We just barely hang on, but we don't make it to the Brick Break. But in the end, it won't matter as we get the Steel Wing Farm down, taking out the Shadow Gligar, and we're able to take that game. Into the next battle, we see Haunter in the lead. Now we're going to swap into Exploud, possibly trying to catch an Ice Punch, but the opponent is actually going to go for a Sludge Bomb, which does huge damage, then swap into a Shadow Poliwrath, and they get a full counter farm down just before we make it Disarming Voice. So that is very unfortunate. We're going to come back in with the Chatot, go for the Sky Attack on the CMP tie, and Sky Attack is going to be shielded by the opponent. Now unfortunately, we are running Steel Wing, it is resisted, whilst counters are actually going to be neutral damage here, so they might be able to just fully counter farm us down here, and they do get the counter farm down. They can now permanently debuff us, and at this point I think this is going to be game over. We're going to shield the first move here unless they randomly swap out. I think, yeah, we're just going to unfortunately lose this game, so we have no shields remaining. Icy Wind probably not quite going to take us out there. Actually, never mind, it does take us out, and even if we did live it, there was nothing we could do. So you can see didn't go particularly well in that set. I didn't edit these battles, so I didn't realize that was going to be there. But you can see, obviously, running a team like this is pretty tough. But we lead into Aurorus, and we're dealing double super effective damage with the Steel Wings there. We're going to shield up the Weather Ball, and well, we're not quite able to commit to a full farm down, but we're able to make a catch onto our Exploud, saving the energy, and we also bait our Scrafty, so hopefully we can still make it to a Disarming Voice. Although if this is a power-up punch, can we make it in time? Yes, we're just barely able to do so. Do they know about Disarming Voice? No, they don't, but it still doesn't take out the Scrafty there. That's kind of disappointing. Honestly, I thought it'd do more damage than that. Come on, that's double super effective. But either way, we are able to get the farm down. But okay, never mind. They've got a... Okay, if we can grab a shield here with the Brick Break, then maybe we've got a chance here. We do grab a shield, and we're going to go straight for the Sky Attack. We kind of just need them to no-shield this, honestly. Sky Attack will be coming through, grabbing the final shield, and we're not able to make it to another Charge Move there. And unfortunately, they're able to Charm, farm us down to take that game. But into the next battle, we see Diggersby in the lead, and they are running Mud Shot, so this is actually pretty good for us. This is also just going to be a Fire Punch, so despite being a pretty awful move there, that does a ton of damage, and we're actually going to shield the next one here. So shielding up a Fire Punch from a Diggersby on a Flying type Pokemon is kind of crazy, but Chatot, as you can see, very glassy. We go for the Sky Attack, dealing some big damage, and then we're going to swap, catch the next Fire Punch onto our Combo O. I do like that play. banking a Sky Attack as well, and we're able to bait out a Frost Sash. Now unfortunately, we didn't get a move as we swapped in, so they will outpace us to the Avalanche, but we can now come in with our Exploud, probably shield once and go for a full farm down here. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what we go for, because of course Avalanche is going to do big damage in this matchup, but we're happy to use the shield here as they go for a... Okay, they go for a Shadow Ball there for some reason. I have no clue why they did that. But anyways, they're going to come back in with their Diggersby. We're going straight for Disarming Voice as we reach back-to-back moves. Disarming Voice grabs the shield. We're now going to snipe with the Chatot here. I personally probably would have thrown another Disarming Voice first, but they're going to swap into Registeel, and unfortunately, we're not going to be able to make it to a Heat Wave. So, going to settle for the Sky Attack. Unfortunately, Sky Attack doesn't do an awful lot of damage there, and they will outpace us to the next charge move. The opponent goes for a Zap Cannon, getting the KO, and I don't think Boom Burst is going to be enough damage here. I'm happy to be proven wrong here, but we go for the Boom Burst. It does big damage, but it's not enough damage, and unfortunately Registeel will outpace us to the next move. Focus Blast gets the KO, and unfortunately we do lose that game. So going into the next battle, we're going to see a Toxapex in the lead. So not really ideal for us since they are resisting the Steel Wings. We're going to swap here, trying to catch a Brine. We're not able to do so, and the opponent does overfarm up to a potential Sludge Wave or a Gunk Shot, so we're definitely going to shield that up. And does the opponent know? Actually, never mind. I thought we were going to try and commit to a Boom Burst there, but we're just going to go for a Brick Break, and the opponent doesn't shield that. We do throw on CMP though, and the opponent goes for a Brine as well, so a bit of an interesting play from both opponents and this trainer. So we're now going to shield this up here, going to commit to a full Dragon Tail farm down. We've used both shields here. Are we just going to blind throw a Boom Burst? Yes, we are. Hopefully the opponent just lets this go through. Boom Burst nearly one-shots them. We get the Dragon Tail farm down, and they've got a Jellicent in the back, and that's probably one of the best things we could possibly see for us, as we're now going to come in with the Chatot. I think they might have got 2 hexes in for free there, but I don't think it really matters. We grab a shield, we can swap into the Exploud, and these Surfs, they're not going to do too much damage. We should be able to live 2 of them. Again, an opponent going for a Shadow Ball up against Exploud. I don't really understand it at all. They're now going to go for Surf, but you can see, yeah, we would have lived 2 Surfs anyways. We make it to back-to-back Disarming Voices. The first one will grab the final shield from the opponent, and we can go for a second Disarming Voice. And from this range, Disarming Voice takes out the Jellicent, and we're able to take that game. Into the next game, awful lead as we see Empoleon, so we're going to say swap into our Exploud, and the opponent's going to respond with a Mandibuzz. Now, of course, we've got Disarming Voice for coverage. It's not going to do much damage. We saw up against Scrafty, it didn't even one-shot them, so up against a Mandibuzz, 2 Disarming Voices won't be enough damage to get the KO, but neither will a Dark Pulse, and now, okay, we were committing to the Boom Burst. I think at this point, we probably just go for back-to-back Disarming Voices here. Nope, never mind, we're going for the Boom Burst. It's still going to do more damage here, and Boom Burst does connect. It actually KOs the Mandibuzz, so that was the right play. And we see as well, they are running Waterfall, so this isn't that bad for us, but they're probably going to be running Drill Peck. They have overfarmed massively though, so let's see. We're going to shield this, and the opponent does go for Drill Peck. They're at back-to-back moves here. We should be able to live this, but it's not going to be particularly comfortable, and they're going to swap into Umbreon, so we're going to go for the Brick Break here. Brick Break is not going to do much damage. They've still got both their shields in play. I don't think we've got any possibility of winning this game, but we're going to carry on playing it out just in case, for whatever reason, the opponent goes for like a 2-shield flex or something. But we're going to go for the Sky Attack here. Sky Attack is going to be no shielded by the Umbreon, and they can just go for the Waterfall farm down. Can we get the Dragon Tail farm down? No, we're barely not able to do so. And unfortunately, they did go for the 2-shield flex and still win. But into the next battle, we're going to see Abomasnow running Leafage as the fast move. So actually, this is not bad for us whatsoever. We're going to shield, of course, because Weather Ball's still going to hit for super effective damage. We can now overfarm here, and we're going to throw on the CMP tie. Sky Attack will be grabbing a shield back from the opponent, and at this point, I think we might just commit to both shields. Nope, never mind. Gonna let it go through. Chatot does go down there. We can come in with the Comma O and get the Dragon Tail farm down, and the opponent comes in with a Salazzle now. They're just gonna go straight for a Poison Fang, and that's fine with us. I personally would have gone for a Brick Break there, but we're gonna swap straight away, and the opponent comes in with a Quagsire. So, gonna no-shield the first move. They go for an Arctotel, which we can tank pretty comfortably, and we should be able to tank another Arctotel very well as well. So, we're going to no-shield once again, and once again, we're going straight for the Boom Burst on the Exploud, and if the opponent does not respect the damage here, it's going to take out the Quagsire, but they're going to come in with Salazzle, get the Incinerate farm down, but this is game over. We can just safely shield this up. They've only got a Poison Fang loaded, so we can go for 2 Dragon Tails, actually never mind, just 1 Dragon Tail to take out the Salazzle, and we're able to take that game. Into next game we see a Fury Cutter Gligar, which is a... well, I was going to say an interesting choice. It's just the wrong choice. Don't run Fury Cutter or even Night Slash either on your Gligar. It's just not the right play. But anyways, I'm going to go for a Sky Attack. At this point, I don't know what elo these battles are at. But anyways, we're going to go and no shield this as the opponent will barely not take us out there with a Night Slash. I personally wouldn't have swapped because... I mean, there's not a lot you can do with a 1 HP Chatot, of course. You can save it for a potential sacrificial swap, but we're going to no-shield here as the opponent gets a boost with the Night Slash. Still doesn't really matter there as it is resisted, and the Fury Cutters were also resisted, and we are full sending the Boom Burst. Please let this land. Boom Burst, unfortunately, does get shielded by the Charizard, and they're going to make it to a Dragon Claw. We're actually going to shield this up here as the opponent is going to go for the Dragon Claw. We're not going to make it to another move, but the opponent swaps into Quagsire, and we are now able to make it to the Boom Burst. Boom Burst does big damage. We're going to stay in, force the opponent to throw their energy, and I do agree with this play. As they go for a Mud Bomb, we can now come in with the Exploud, get the full Astonish farm down here, and now can we make it to the Boom Burst? We tried to make a catch there. I think that might have been a bit unnecessary. Can Exploud live a Blast Burn here? The opponent goes for an Overheat, which does even more damage than the Blast Burn, and unfortunately we do lose that game. We should have just gone for the Disarming Voice, but oh well. Into the next game, we're going to see a Togekiss, and the opponent is choosing to stay in. Unfortunately, you can see, even with super effective Steel Wings, they're still dealing more damage with the Charms. I personally would not have swapped out there, because of course, we've got Como-O in the back. Even if they swap out with their Togekiss on like 10 HP, they get off like 4 or 5 charms up against our Como-O, and that would be a nightmare because they're pretty much one-shot us. But anyways, we're lucky because the opponent does stay in, and we can go for back-to-back Disarming Voices here. And hopefully, because we have seen Togekiss in the lead, that's going to be the worst answer for the Como-O. So maybe Como-O will have some freedom in the back to sweep this game here. But let's see, we're going to come in with the Como-O, and are we going to try and make a catch here? No, we're not going to. We should resist everything they throw, though, so we're going to no-shield. As they go for a Grass Knot, doesn't do much damage. We get the Dragon Tail farm down, and they come in with some sort of Incinerate user. I think it was Typhlosion. I'm not entirely sure. Nope, never mind. It's going to be a Crocodile, but either way, it doesn't really matter. At this point, we are going to make the catch. Okay, fair enough. We do make a catch on the 1 HP Chatot, and now we can just commit to a full Dragon Tail farm down. The catch wasn't necessary. We were just flexing our timing there, and we're able to take that game. And into possibly the final battle of this video, we lead into Pelipper. So once again, not ideal that they are resisting the Steel Wings, but we're going to swap and catch the move here as the opponent goes for a Weather Ball. Not going to do too much damage there. I personally would have just stayed in because we could have lived a Weather Ball fairly fine on our Chatot, but we are going to let the next move go through, and we are going to commit to the Boom Burst, and we do get there in time just before they get the Wing Attack farm down. Boom Burst unfortunately is shielded, and understandable really. Disarming Voice honestly would have nearly taken them out there, so yeah, we're now going to come back in with a Como-O instead, and we are going to shield this. They have got quite a lot of energy. The opponent full sends the Hurricane, which is good news for us, and now they're going to swap into Typhlosion. We can just safely no-shield this. It's just going to be a Thunder Punch, so not going to do much damage whatsoever. The opponent should have possibly gone for a... Okay, we throw on poor timing there, which is unfortunate, but we're going to go for the Sky Attack. Sky Attack is going to be shielded, and yeah, we just have to let this go through, as the opponent probably could have just committed to a full Incinerate farm down there, but now we come back in with the Como-O. We are going to commit to a full farm down here. So we're going to shield this up as they go for a Thunder Punch, and the opponent comes in with a Shadow Venusaur. We're going straight for the Boom Burst, and Venusaur is straight in and straight out, and we are unfortunately outpaced to the charge move by the Pelipper though, and Weather Ball will be enough damage to get the KO, and we do end up losing that final game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you want to take your support even further, you can now become a channel member with perks including early access to new videos, shoutouts at the end of each video, custom loyalty badges, and custom emojis to use in the comments. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has already become a channel member. Your support is greatly appreciated, and with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.